Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Thursday, August 6th, 2026. In the pre-market this morning, things are fairly quiet. The Dow, the S&P is up while the Nasdaq is down slightly, less than 0.5%. So not a lot of movement in the pre-market this morning. Similar situation for the world of commodities. Gold up $10, crude oil up 65 cents. So no major changes there. We do have U.S. jobless claims coming out at 8:30. That number could certainly help change the direction of the market. But as for the past few months, the market has been waving off most economic numbers and just sticking with the AI story. Now, yesterday turned out to be a bearish reversal day, and of course, that's where a stock or a symbol opens higher and then closes lower on the day. And so we had the TSX open up at all-time new highs and then came down and closed at the low of the day. We had a reversal in the S&P 500, and in both cases, you can see that we did not close below the previous day's low, and that is also true for the NASDAQ 100. So yes, it was a bearish reversal day. It wasn't a powerful bearish reversal day, but we'll just have to see if that marks the top for this particular move. And of course, a bearish reversal signal can be nullified as soon as we close above yesterday's high. So if it turns around and we close above yesterday's high on Thursday, then the bearish reversal signal, we just throw it out the window and don't care about it any longer. Now, we've gone through a lot of earnings volatility over the past few weeks. It probably all started with IBM falling out of the sky. This week, we're dealing with Palantir gapping higher on earnings, and you can see coming into that, we were on a sell signal. That's also true for Shopify, which gapped higher yesterday. And so when you're trying to follow the money, it generated two sell signals over the past 10 days and then popped yesterday. So a lot of short-term traders on the wrong side of that trade. More conservative traders were not affected at all, and certainly long-term investors came into yesterday's trading action already on a buy signal. So it was just short-term traders, which is a lot of people who watch this video. And a lot of Canadians were on holiday over the weekends. I'm not sure how many of them got stuck on the wrong side of that trade, but that's just what's happening right now with earnings volatility. And of course, we also watched SpaceX with earnings yesterday. Now, coming into yesterday, the stock had a very nice day, which we really haven't seen much of for SpaceX so far. And then on Wednesday, that nice day was completely reversed and down over 13% on the day. Now, in the pre-market this morning, it is up a couple of dollars. I did try to make a smart money chart last night for SpaceX just to see what it looked like. And you can see that the pros have no interest in taking control of SpaceX at this time. Now, today's an interesting day for SpaceX because it's the first day that some initial investors are able to sell their shares. So it'll be interesting to see how today turns out. Now, looking at the VIX or the Fear Index on a seasonal chart, the seasonal low is in the middle of July, the third week of July, actually, and we didn't see that this year. And so from this point on, historically into October, the VIX is usually trending higher, and we're certainly not seeing that on Thursday morning. The VIX for the S&P 500 ended the day lower yesterday, as did the VIX for the NASDAQ and the VIX for the Russell 2000. No change in trend coming into Thursday's trading action. Now, the energy sector continues to decline. Crude oil, gasoline closed down slightly yesterday. Even natural gas was down just 3 cents yesterday, so no major change for any of them. And then we finally saw the continuation in the down move for the energy sector with both the Canadian and U.S. energy ETFs generating sell signals on Wednesday, and the big players also generated sell signals. So Canadian Natural Resources and their Chevron both back on sell signals as of Wednesday's close. Now, the miners popped yesterday. We had gold up nicely, and there's the gold stocks, the GDX and the XGD, both moving up. And there is some additional Canadian listed gold stocks moving higher on Wednesday, giving us some new buy signals. Now, the bond market has started to slow down here. We closed up slightly yesterday for the 30-year bond. The yield pulled back, and so the intervention by the U.S. government into the currency markets has slowed down the movement in the bond market. So there's the U.S. dollar index still closing below $100. There's the Japanese yen inside day on Wednesday. It's really slowed down over the past couple of days after the initial intervention. And then the euro is still on a buy signal here. Canadian dollar still on a buy signal, but not trending anywhere at the moment. Looking at the Canadian market, when we look at the TSX 60, we did have a couple of new buy signals yesterday. One of them was Shopify, one of them was Kinross, and then the rest were sell signals, grocery stores and insurance. So it wasn't just the energy sector yesterday. There's Sun Life generating a sell signal on Wednesday, and you can see that we got up to the 118.75 level and then started to pull back. And now we're watching to see if we start to break down below 112.50. Looking at the US market and looking at the S&P 500, we actually had 19 new buy signals and 18 sell signals yesterday. And yes, the sell signals included a lot of major energy stocks. And so there's Goldman Sachs generating a buy signal on Wednesday, and there's the CBO generating a sell signal as of Wednesday's close. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. I'm doing this video ahead of those jobless numbers coming out at 8:30. They could certainly potentially sway the market, but the market has been ignoring a lot of the economic numbers over the past few months and just focusing on the AI sector. You have a great Thursday. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Friday morning, and at that time we'll walk through the most actively traded stocks from Thursday's trading action.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.